Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Mirror Dungeon solo video. Today we're totally, definitely using my favorite identity in the entire game, the Queen of Hatred, in a absolutely normal way. That has absolutely nothing to do with the special day of today. Now, I don't really have a whole lot of time, so I don't know how much commentary I'll add to each of these different fights, but we'll see how it plays out. Obviously, I love the Queen. She's the best identity in the game, and there's a reason for it. I mean, just look at how much stuff she can do, you know? She's a sinking identity, a charge identity, a bleed identity, a tremor identity. She's everything, you know? It's great. And everyone knows that she's got, like, her unique status effect of the burgeoning horns, and Shattermark as well, which is pretty good. The best part about them is that they are a unique status effect that only she can run. Very cool. I love that. I love that she has so many different things that only she can do. Obviously, no enemy in the entire Mirror Dungeon is able to hold a candle to her power. So this will be a pretty easy run, I'd say. Unfortunately, there is a few unlucky coin rolls here or there, but that's just the nature of this game. Not really a fault of the Queen, if I do say so myself. And of course, it wouldn't be a Mirror Dungeon solo run if you're not fighting the Knight of Despair, because as good as the Queen of Hatred Don Quixote is, well, she's not the original. She never will be. And the original is always going to be the best. Hi, Queenie. Love you. Best character in the entire franchise, bar none. It's not even close. Unfortunately, the Knight of Despair is a little bit of, I'd say, awkward to fight, just because she's so unbelievably tanky that no identity is really capable of beating her without playing into her gimmick. And that's a little unfortunate, but it makes her fight a lot more fun, I'd say. Definitely the best fight in the game, easily. It makes it feel the same a lot of the time because of, you know, since every identity effectively plays it exactly the same way, then because of that, none of them have anything special going on. And thus this fight can feel a little bit tedious, I'd say. But the presence of the Queen absolutely makes up for it. And as we all know, you can't touch the Queen unless she lets you touch her. That's why her evade is the strongest evade in the game. Honestly, the hardest part about this fight is always trying to get the Queen to deal the finishing blow. And it's because, like, up until the Knight of Despair, up until you destroy all of the Knight of Despair's swords, she basically takes no damage. And then once you do destroy all the swords, then all of a sudden she's taking like quadruple damage. And you know, the projected damage, like the projected damage, it lies to you. It lies to you all the time. Because it doesn't take into account all of these damage modifiers and things. And so it tells you do like, you know, 500 damage, but then in reality you're actually doing like 700 damage. And because of that, you can end up accidentally, you know, doing too much damage and killing the Knight of Despair accidentally. Which is very unfortunate because the Queen deserves the kill every single time because of how great she is. I mean, just look at her. How could you not let her get the kill?
있는 힘껏 찔러놓고 웃겨놨지만 저것들은 언젠가 다시 재생하겠지.
And next up we have Cassetti. Cassetti, the Blood Fiend, versus the Queen. And as everybody knows, the Queen hates Blood Fiends. Especially ones named Cassetti.
제압 계획의 규모가 너무 큰 거 아니야?
왜 알아듣지
적당히
못하는지.
쉬엄쉬엄해도 괜찮을 텐데.
주머니로서 우월해지는 것인데. 만만찮겠군. 의미 하지. 모자란 피를 채우자고. 정의보다도 생명 속에 파묻힌 그대 역사 빛의 우리 앞을 막는 증오스러 나와 그대의 힘 합쳐 위대한 아르카나 플레이어!
Best ego in the game, by the way. Not even close. So cinematic. It's the best part about it.
개체가 조금 무리한 환경에 놓이게 된 것 같아. 하지만 우리가 걱정할 건 하나도 없어. 최선을 다할 것이야.
Not really many egos can even come close to matching that level, in my opinion. There's like Tears of the Tarnished, Hong Lu's ego. That's a pretty good one.
어떻게 하신 거지? 깜짝 놀랐어요.
I'm sure there's some others, but I just can't really remember them right now off the top of my head. Anyways, Cassetti's dead. Told you she hates Blood Fiends named Cassetti.
얌전히 잠들어 있어야 할 놈들까지. 만만찮겠군. 의미 하지. 정의보다도 생명 속에 파묻힌 그대 역사 빛의 우리 앞을 막는 증오스러 나와 그대의 힘을 합쳐 위대한 아르카나 플레이어!
You know, it's funny. This specific track in the game, you know, Canto 1, Battle Theme C1, as it's called in the files. It's one of the best tracks in the entire game. And that's really funny because it's like, it's Canto 1, you know? It literally came out at launch, and it's still one of the best.
계획의 규모가 너무 큰 거 아니야?
It's crazy.
적당히 쉬엄쉬엄해도 괜찮을 텐데.
That's an idea of something I could do. Make a tier list of all of the music in the game. I wouldn't mind doing that. The music is one of my favorite parts about like the Project Moon franchise as a whole, honestly. It goes the abnormalities and then the music, and then probably the story after that.
이 정도 상황에 오는 소리야는 나약한 직원들 징계팀이 없어. 그게 개죽음이었으면 안 되지.
This animation is one of the weirdest ones, like out of all of them, I'd say. Because it just... The second coin, it just ends, like, prematurely. And it just cuts out the audio entirely. It's super weird. It's definitely one of the weirdest interactions between these identities, I'd say. And by identities, I mean only the Queen of Hatred, of course, because that's the only identity we're using.
시스템은 해당 행동의 약 14%의 정리 기여도가 있음을 판단했습니다.
이런 제압은 회사에겐 효율적일지는 몰라도 그 희생을 값싼 대가로 여기는 게 아니라면 현상체가 너무 집착하지. 이곳의 목적이 그런데
Honestly, I will say this much about the facade system, specifically with the Queen of Hatred and like skill 2s of most characters. It's just the specific like reused animations don't make sense half the time. Like the Queen of Hatred, she smacks with the wand twice and then does a magic blast, and it's just like, that seems backwards to me. Why does she smack with the wand twice and not do a magic blast twice? Wouldn't 2 magic blasts make more sense, you know? I think it would.
환상체에게도 이 파괴 이제 좀 볼만해. 자, 해주지 말고 계속 제압으로 이어가. 있는 힘껏 찔러놓고 웃겨놨지만 저것들은 언젠가 다시 재생하겠지.
저 개체가 기세등등해 보여요.
And of course, when you're using the Queen of Hatred, you gotta use her true form. What an absolute powerhouse. No identity comes close.
우리 앞을 막는 증오스러운 존재들에게 나와 그대의 힘을 합쳐 위대한 사랑의 힘을 보여줄 것을! 아르카나 슬레이머!
아까 했던 공격 덕에 한결 수월해진 것 같아요. 만만찮겠군. 좋네요. 우리 하지. 사랑으로. 아르카나 세이버.
Another big thing that's like very disappointing with the facade system is that if you have a character, like not even a character that has different forms, just a character who has different animations if they reach a specific threshold. It's like if you're using the facade system, that extra animation will literally never play. And it's like for the Queen of Hatred, right? She only ever uses Arcana Beats with her skill 3, never Arcana Slave. Never. Even if it makes sense for her to be able to do it, you know? Like if the facade you're using has a second animation that plays when you reach a certain threshold, and the identity you're using underneath it also has special skills or animations that play when they reach a certain threshold, then it should play the special animation of the identity you're using as the facade. I don't know why it doesn't. Like, probably some weird technical limitation or something, but yeah, the facade system needs a lot of work still. Most of it is just you need to really just go by and do it for every single identity individually, really. There's no way to make it like efficient otherwise.
제압 계획의 규모가 너무 큰 거 아니야? 적당히 쉬엄쉬엄해도 괜찮을 텐데.
본인은
Honestly, it's kind of funny. I don't remember what ego gifts I really picked up in this run. Basically everything, but like, I think it's the uncapped defibrillator, which makes it basically impossible to enter the evil queen mode. Which is very unfortunate that we couldn't do it in this fight, like up until this very last turn, because she's a lot stronger in this mode. Oh well. What can you do? At least we did it.
승리의 보람과 세상의 아름다움에 대해 들어본 적 있는가? 없어도 전혀 상관없다네. 지금 우리가 보는 경치가 바로 그런 것일 테니.
And of course, here is your totally unbiased and not at all cheated proof that the Queen of Hatred is the best identity for Don Quixote, because I didn't give her a very long fight just so she could absolutely guarantee to do the most damage out of anybody. No, definitely not. Anyways, that's it from me. Like and subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.